Good morning, all of you. Welcome back to the course on cryptography and system security. So, in our previous session, we were discussing about malwares. When we talk about a malware is a malicious software, right? Maybe with the user knowledge or without the user knowledge. So, these are vulnerable, and so this can be launched into your PC or any devices, and that can do some harmful things on your resources, whatever you are using, right? And based on this how it propagates, we discussed about different categories. Malwares which requires a need host programs, that means that it needs any other devices or any other action which has to be performed on the devices, then it can start activate and it will perform all the malicious activities, right? Which is under this first category, the malware which needs a host program. So these are the categories: trapdoors, logic bombs, Trojan horses, and viruses. Right? When we talk about the independent, the malicious program which does not need any host program, which work independently, are categorized as worm as well as zombie. Right? We discussed about what is this backdoor or trapdoor. Right? It is an illegal point entry, right, through which maybe with the help of the open ports without the user knowledge. So this malwares will intrude into the victim's machine, and then from that moment, based on the conditions, so if it is a logic bomb, so based on the certain parameters, certain information, whenever it meets a certain conditions, maybe the click actions, or maybe depends on the information which are required, right? Maybe present in the absence of some file, or maybe if you're trying to open the file which does not exist, based on the certain information, right, this logic bomb will be triggered when the condition occurs, right? And after that, it will do harmful things to your resources or system, right? It may modify, or it may delete, or maybe it can harm to the disk files, or it can shut down your machine, or it can corrupt your operating system. The next category which I discussed was the Trojanos, right? Again, Trojanos is one type of malware, right, which is works based on the backdoor, right? Again, the Trojanos here, the malware which are going to be hidden inside any of the file, maybe your PDF file or exe file, right? And we performed also I demonstrated using the ProRat software, right, with the during the last practical, right? What we understood from that experiment, right, we can create a bind file which is a exe file, right? So that exe file which can be binded with any of the images or any of the PDF file which we select, right? And that can be transferred to the machine which you wanted to attack, right? By seeing that image or file, user will assume that it is an actual file or correct file. It looks like an image, right? If you just click on the image, from that moment, so the attacker will start getting the complete gain of the machine which is attacking. Okay, so from that movement, attacker, he will do all type of things whatever he wanted to, right? So we demonstrated, right, we can do the funny steps, and then they can open a browser, they will identify the system information, they can create an admin user logins, right? And you can see all the file which are exist in your PC. So that is how the Trojanas, which is very harmful, right? So we discussed about all these things, right? Again, when we talk about this zombie as well as worm, right, which are self propagate through the network. But when we talk about the other malwares, right, which needs a host program, that will not propagate through the network. But when we talk about this zombie as well as worms, right, which are the ability to transfer, or which will self propagate and which can be transmitted over the network, right? And most of this zombie as well as worms, right, which will create traffic in the network, right? So unwanted traffic which has been created among this different networks, so that it will reduce your the data transmission speed. Then we started discussing about virus is a piece of self-replicating code, right, that can be attached with any one of the file, right? Whenever if you just click on that, right, automatically, so it will self-replicating, it will make some multiple copies of the same file, and that can spread along with the different entities, right? Again, so we discussed about the phases, and we discussed about different types of viruses: parasitic viruses as well as memory resident, boot sector virus, and stealth virus, right? So then, So we discussed about the antivirus, why we need to go for the antivirus in order to identify as well as remove the malware from your device or from your resources. We need to have the antivirus, right, which will keep on monitoring your all your resources which is available on your PC. Whenever if you are downloading any file, before downloading, your antivirus system will check whether the downloading file is the valid file, whether it has any malicious code or any virus footprints. If it detects, automatically the file will be blocked, will that file will not be downloaded, right, again. So you can just the antivirus will keep on checking all the files in your PC by doing the complete scan or quick scan. There are different modes you might have experienced, right? Similarly, so the antivirus providers will keep on updating the software or keep on updating the patches, depends on the market, right? In case if they come to know that if any other new viruses came into the market, right, accordingly antivirus will be updated and the patch will be delivered to the registered users, where you can download the database and you can update your antivirus time to time, so that it will take care of your complete system, right? Then we talk about distributed denial of services. When we talk about denial of services, is something that if attacker is no if a user is there in order to get access to the particular resources, and denial of service is something that, right, the attacker will keep the server busy so that the authorized users will not be able to get services from the server, though is a legal users or authorized users, because the server will be completely engaged by the unwanted activities or the maybe the requests which are made by the attackers, right? So maybe millions of requests which will be created or fabricated by the attacker, that will be sent to the server. The server will be completely busy with those unwanted requests which are made by the attackers, right? So we discussed about how the sync flood attack as well as the ICMP request which is forwarded to the routers, right? Then we started discussing about another important topic, which are bots, right? So where we stopped in the last session, right? We'll continue from here, right? When we talk about the bots, just give me a second. I'll open board. I hope the presentation screen is visible, correct? Anyone can quickly acknowledge. Is the screen visible? Okay. So when we talk about bot, right? So when you're logging into the web, any website, right, you might have noticed that immediately, so you will get a chat box, chat bot, right? What is this chat bot which will do is that, right, basically chat bot is a software, right, that is programmed to do a certain task, right? Say for example, if it is maybe a customer care executive, where you can interact with the chat box through the voice, right, or you will use this chat bot, right, where so it will open a chat window and where the user can feed your queries, right? And whatever the queries which you are typing, based on the queries, right, it will apply machine learning techniques as well as natural language processing, whatever the content which you wrote on the chat window, and that will be interpreted and it is to be understood by the chatbot and depends upon your queries, and it will check for the database or any website where it is registered. Say for example, if you wanted to check for the exam date in the chat box, right, and in case if any notice is put up in the website, right, it will refer the notice and then it will give the date. Say for example, when the oral exams are scheduled, if the schedule is uploaded on the website, or no, if the permission is given, it may refer any other websites, maybe for Mumbai University as well as other university website through the internet. And if the results are found accordingly based on your request, and you will get the results in the chat box, right? So this is how the chat box are work, right? Again, when we talk about bots are automated, which means they run according to the instructions without a human user needing to manually start them every time. So this is completely based on automated, right, which is going to work as an expert system, which is going to act like a human. All right. So you might have heard about that Eva as well as Boston, right? So this is SDFC again. So this is for IBM Watson, right? So these are no kind of chat applications, or maybe this bot applications, right? Where so this queries this Eva, SDFC Eva, which takes less time to response than a physical or a human customer care executive, right? So you will not be able to differentiate whether you are getting the responses from the customer care executive, or you are getting the responses through this chatbot or this bot, right? So this can be used for a repetitive task, or this can be used for any other special purposes wherever the human is involved, right? So this is what the basic information which are regarding the bots, right? Any queries regarding what is this bots or introduction to the bots? So now when we talk about this bots, right, usually it may work on the individual machine, right? If the permission is given, right, and it can connect to the internet, right? So if you're trying to access any information, right, and that is not exist in the network, suppose if the programmer is designed in such a way that it can refer any other sources from the internet, and what it will do automatically, it will do the search through the Google app, or maybe with the any one of the applications, or through the search engines, right? Automatically it will try to get the responses, right? And you can see here more than half of the internet traffic is bot scanning content, right? So here it will start searching as well as identifying the information, as well as fetching the information, right? As well as it will do interact with the web pages and chatting with the users, as well as looking for attack targets, right? So when we talk about this bots, right, so no, it basically it is designed to replace the humans, right? In case if the customer care executive is not physically present, in that cases the bot can be used, as well as similar kind of chat box in the website, right? So this will keep on interacting with the different web pages or different websites through the internet, and that will be no, that will cause the internet which is congested, right? So when we talk about these bots, right, some bots are useful, right, where if you do the chat box or search engine bots, right, and some bots are really it is bad, right, and which are programmed to break into the user accounts. So this bots, right, which will do the harmful system or harmful activities to the database as well as system, right, which are programmed in a such a way that, right, it will get access into the user accounts and scam for scan for web, for contact information, for sending the spam mail, right? Every website, right, or every organization, they are provided with the different emails, right? Maybe their information email, or maybe with the different employees email, right? So this chat bot, this bot will keep on searching the informations, right? See, even if you have not registered your website, or even if you have not registered your email ID in somewhere, right, how you are getting spam emails to your email box? Did anyone notice that? Even if your email id is created newly, even if it is not used nowhere, and Alia, this no for what? Okay, sorry. Okay, so when we talk about this, the bad bots, so this will keep on scanning the different websites, right? Say for example, somewhere your email id has been registered, right? And even if you have registered for any one of the sites, say for example Facebook or maybe any other websites, right? So what it will do, if you have registered your email in the public domain, right? Now what this bot will do, it will keep on checking the different websites, and that will try to find out the email ids, right? So that email id which will be shared with the different publicity companies, and they will start promoting their contents or their products through your email, right? So these are some of the bots, right, which are created for wrong intentions, right? Now when we talk about the different categories of bots, right, there are different types where it is used, or based on the applications where the chatbots are used, not chatbot, where the bots are used, right? The first one is the chatbots, and you're all familiar with this, right? The chatbots are used in the web pages, right, where you will feed the text as well as you will get the text in form of replies. Again, web crawlers, right? So again, so these are the Google bots that scan the content of the web pages all over the internet, right? Whatever you are searching through the Google search engines, again this Google bots which are available with the Google server, and based on your request you made, right? So it will do the search with the different search engines or different websites, and you will get the reply on your browser, right? Again, special bots which are used in the social media or different websites in order to carry out any specific task which are created by the organizations. Say for example, if for the administration purpose, again, so we can create a separate bots. Again, different applications, we can have the different bots. The most important as well as the dangerous one is a malicious bots that scrap the content, right? It will search as well as extract your contents, spread spam mails as well as spam contents, as well as carry out the credential stuffing attacks. If it will try for any loopholes on the information which are stored, say for example database, where the database is stored with the different users, or different users details like name, address, mobile number, as well as email id, right? And those information will be cached, or which will be extracted or caught by these bots, and that can be used for the unwanted activities. Say for example, you will be getting a call from the different agencies, right? Whether you need a loan or you need this product, right? And similarly you will be getting the spam mails, right? When we talk about any bot, which is any automated actions by a bot that violates the website's owner intentions, or that site's rules, the bot behavior which can be considered as a malicious, right? And if any bots which is not following the ethics, which is against the organization policies, that will be called as a malicious bots, right? Bots that attempt to carry out the cyber crime, so here which comes into the pictures, right? Bots which are created for malicious activities like a cyber crime of theft of information, right? Maybe no information espionage, right? Kind of things, right? Such as identify theft or account takeover, also called a bad bots. Already we discussed about what is this bad bots, right? Which will do harmful things to the resources or devices or informations, right? Now, when we talk about these bots, as we discussed, so this creates a lot of topics, and if it is really creating a traffic in order to search the actual request, then that is acceptable. Otherwise, there are certain bots or malicious bots which are created purposely to create a traffic on the network, right? That automatically they spoil the name of your internet provider, or might be purposely which is no used to reduce the internet speed, right? Sometimes, so this intentionally takes in the form of denial of services as well as distributed denial of services that we'll discuss, right? Now, when we talk about the malicious activities, so far we are discussing about what is meant by bot and the different types of bots. When we talk about this malicious bots or bad bots, so this can do these informations. The first one is credential stuffing, right? It will try to get your informations from the database, username, password, as well as the hash code, your email id, and other private informations, as well as web as well as content scraping, as well as denial of services, brute force password cracking. So now the bots are used for cracking the password. We were talking about using the f crack zip, right, where manually will try all the possible combination of the password in order to break the security. Similar to that, the bots are likely to created in order to do the specific activity. So this is called a special bot. Now this bot, right, which is programmed in such a way that it will keep on trying all the brute force combination password, right? So our it will try all the possible password based on the brute force attack. What is meant by this brute force? When we talk about this brute force method, right, so this is possible, right, where it will try all the combinations. So for example, if you come to know that if it is a 4 digit values, your password is 4 digits. So for example, if it is a ATM pin number, it will start from 00 or it will end with the 999. In case if you are using the password which is 6 or 8 characters, it will start from ABCDEFGH, or it will start from AA, right, and it will go till small z z z z z, all the combination, as well as it will try in the different variations, right? Small letter, capital letter, and then number, and then special characters. That is brute forcing, right? Again, when we talk about the bot, again, which can be used for delivering the spam mails, right? Again, email address harvesting, I was explaining about. The bots will visit all the websites, and whatever the email id which are available on the websites, and that email id will be harvested, and based on that email ids, company they will start promoting their products through your email id, as well as click fraud, right? Again, so this is similar kind of a trojan horse, right? If you just click on any link which may looks like actual link, right, when you just start clicking, from that moment, right, your bot will start getting your information, whatever you are doing on the machines, right? Whether you are giving any information, or whether whatever you are typing, whatever you are browsing, all those information which will be captured by the bots. Any queries regarding the bots, different categories of bots which I explained so far? Okay, so next, just I'll let check in the chat box, is there any queries first? Okay, so next we'll be discussing about a rootkit. When we talk about a rootkit, so we were talking about the boot sector virus, right? Similarly, right, these rootkits are the hacking informations, are the kind of malwares, right, which will store in the memory of your computers, right? Especially in the routing sectors, or maybe in the boot sectors, right? When we talk about boot sector virus, what this will do, so these are the virus which will store in your booting part, right? Suppose if you have installed with your Windows operating system or your Linux operating system, na there are specific sector which is allocated to your booting files. Now this virus which especially which are going to store or which is going to correct some codes or some line of codes in your booting program, once if these codes are corrupted in order to boot your PC, so these codes are more important. If this file is corrupted, you will not be able to boot your system. Similarly, when we talk about rootkit, a stealthy computer program, right, which stealthy means which are secret or which cannot be detected easily, which hide itself, right, to provide a continued privilege access to a computer while actively hiding its presence, right? So once if these virus or these malwares are stored in your computer, and that will hide itself, and after that, so this will provide the access to the attackers as the admin rights. Whatever the admin rights you have in your PC, all these admin rights which will be given to the attacker once if the rootkits are present in your computers, right? So this is what the next statement which says, again a root and kit, right, which will be on the memory, right? There's rootkits, right, that enable the administrator level access to a computer or a network, right? So as I was talking about, so this rootkit is again which will, if it is present in your computer, which will provide all the access to the attacker like administrator. What are the privileges which the administrator has? Similar kind of privileges which will be provided to the attacker, right? And once if the rootkit is present in your computer, right? So whether that can be it can be a trojanus, or whether it can be a worm, or it can be a virus, right? But the purpose is that this will use an administrator rights to the attacker, right? That is more important. Attacker can use any one of the tool, whether it is a trojan or zombie or worm or virus, but the intention is that so the attacker will get the complete access to the resources, right? So this rootkit allows someone to maintain a command and control over the computer without the computer user or owner knowing it, right? So this is kind of a trojanus, right? So example for that, the rootkit is again trojanus, right? Once if the trojanus, right, is launched in the machines, automatically the attacker, he will get the complete control of the target machine where he wanted to attack, right? But this information, whether the attacker has the access to this machine, which should not be known to the user, or this will not be known to the actual users, right? And once if the rootkit has been installed, the controller of the rootkit has the ability to remotely execute the files, right? Wherever I use this, you can just imagine that how the trojanus virus which executed and change the system configuration on the host machine, right? So here you can create a new admin account, and after that, right, if it is the individual machine, that is okay. And if it is a remote machine, again through the internet remotely, you will try to connect or you will try to access the resources, right? And after that you can see all the information like log access file, and as well as you can read any files which are stored, or you can see the images or whatever the information which are stored on your machines, right? Okay, so what are the ways? So we were talking about the trojanas, right? Once if the trojanas is launched, the user will not be able to identify. Similarly, when we talk about these rootkits, so this rootkits, whether it is exists on any one system, whether it will be very difficult to identify first thing. But if we use any some of the tools, maybe uh, antivirus, right? So this, if your antivirus is really it is a good one, right, based on the rating, right, and that will identify if it is virus footprints or malwares, right, that will be identified automatically. This will be removed, or this will be quarantined from your resources, right? So here, this deduction method include behavioral based methods, right? Is there any strange behavior on computer, right? So here, if you have installed any intrusion detection system on your host, we discussed about there are different types of intrusion detection system, host based IDS as well as network based IDS, right? So that will keep on checking any activities or whatever the activities which are happening on your PC or the network, right? If detects that if any uh, activities which are completely strange in your computers, then that will be intimated to the administrator, such no unexpected activities or unwanted activities which are happening, right? So that it will be intimated to the network, and then he will start checking all the activities, or again he will do the complete scan, right? And he may do the necessary action in order to overcome from the issues, right? The only option is to remove rootkit is completely rebuild the compromised system, right? Whether you can format the drive where the rootkit is launched, right, or we can just completely uh, rebuild the computers by means of launching a new operating system. And once if this has been detected, after that, right, you need to isolate your machine, right, as soon as possible to stay away from the attackers, right? So it is always suggested that, right, so if you have any resources which is connected with the internet, make sure that you have the proper antivirus system which is installed, especially the licensed one, right? So also enable the Windows firewalls as well as Windows security, right? So that will automatically use our that will the security will be enabled automatically for your resources, and that will do all the security actions whenever you are doing anything on your computers, whenever you are using any third party pen drive. And before using it, you are requested to scan your complete pen drive, and before using it or before opening it, first scan and then open. Somewhere if you find that it has some viruses, don't use the pen drive. Otherwise, when you are trying to download, try to use the browser which has more secured, especially the chromes which are having or which is embedded with the inbuilt virus scanner, right? That will detect is there any virus which present in your computer, sorry, the file which are downloading, right? And if it has some virus footprints, that will not be downloaded. As well as when you are downloading email or Gmail, right, use Gmail only, because that has uh, the antivirus detection. Your file will be checked whether it has a virus or not. If you are using Yahoo Mail, as well as if you are using no Microsoft browser, Edge or some other browsers, right, Internet Explorer, that does not have any feature in order to check whether your file is no downloading with the virus, right? That will not be checked, and that may damage your computers or resources. So these are the statement which are given here, as well as update your OS, right? So the patches are the given by the providers or operating system providers, right? It is requested that you can update your operating system as well as virus periodically, right? So that you can stay away from the all kind of malwares as well as attacks. So these are the some of the incident which took place with the help of this rootkit examples, right? So if you have any queries regarding this rootkits, so for whatever I covered, so there are two categories. The first one is user level rootkit, and then the kernel level rootkit, right? user level rootkits, right, which access only these user level privileges, right. When we talk about the kernel level privileges, right, where it has the complete information about your computers, right, depends on know what type of your configuration of your machines, right. User level as well as kernel level rootkits, right, which may exist by the attacker, right. So these are the some of the guidelines through which how we can stay away from the attacks, right. Right, any queries regarding this topic which I covered, bots as well as the rootkit, any queries? Quickly write in the chat box. Okay.